Hey everyone, and welcome back to Best of the Best Movie, the podcast where we figure out once and for all which movie is the best movie of all time. And the way we do that is we take the 28 best movies and put them in a bracket tournament, single elimination style, till we have one left. That's the brackets going up. And obviously, of course, we get that from the MTV Movie Award winners. Obviously, everyone knows that. I'm Brett, joined by Dustin and Dylan. Dustin, Dylan, how you doing?
Hey guys, doing great.
Have you guys seen any movies non-tournament related?
I don't think I have. This has been a bit of a slow week for me.
Slow as in non-movie watching?
Yeah.
Sounds like
if I'm not watching, I think I'd prefer to be watching like 3 or 4 movies a week.
Ooh. Are you trying to do like 365 or something, or 100, or?
I would love, see, my goal for this year is 100 new movies that I've never seen before, which would double my goal from last year. But I'd love to work up to like 365.
Yeah, and then get up to 420.
Nice.
And then I die.
We watched, this is like 2 weeks ago. We mentioned the last one. We watched Not Another Teen Movie.
Yeah, we mentioned that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We watched it again.
Yeah.
You guys just watch it on repeat?
I saw Clueless. Did I mention this last time?
Oh, no.
You watched the movie about yourself?
I watched God damn, he got me. I watched Clueless for the first time.
You are a moron, right, though?
Oh, yeah, classically trained. It was friggin' awesome. I loved it.
Paul Rudd's a smoke show, ain't he?
Dude, he's a smoke show. The movie's filled with smoke
I
shows.
was supposed to say, I guess at least
Snoke shows.
I guess
Snoke shows.
Dude, Snoke is a smoke show. I swear to you.
He's a Snoke show.
I didn't realize that the whole plot of the film kind of hinged upon like weird incestual relationship.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time. They're step brother and sister, right?
Yeah.
They're like removed siblings.
that
So
mean?
like their parents were married and then they got divorced.
Nice.
Oh, so they weren't siblings that got split up. They were
like
Step siblings.
They were step siblings who like came together when they were teenagers and then their parents split. But he stays there because her father treats him like a son.
This
Wait,
sounds
their
a lot.
parents?
Sounds a
Parents
lot.
weren't split?
It sounds a lot like those videos you keep showing me. You keep sending me those links to step brother and step sister stuff.
Yeah, they're spinoffs to Clueless.
Huh.
They're all clueless. They're all in the same
Why do they
universe.
keep banging each other then?
Because that's the plot, baby.
and he goes, oops.
Are you gonna invest?
He goes, oops.
Every movie starts with the Warner Brothers logo, and there's just oops.
Stuck in a washing machine.
Stupid.
Step bro, what are you doing?
I don't know. We recently found out we got a free upgrade to HBO Max. We might watch some cool shit on that.
Oh, we gotta watch the Snyder Cut.
Yeah,
Oh, that's like in a year.
Yeah, next year.
F.
Are you gonna watch American Pickle?
Oh yeah, I did see the trailer for that. It looks
Probably.
funny.
I'll probably watch it.
When does that come out?
In September, I believe. Maybe August.
Oh, thanks.
Why did you watch Star Wars?
Well, okay. Oh, I was
Just
gonna,
episode 6?
I was gonna talk about.
Well,
something.
we're done. Did you watch anything?
I watched 2 things. One's not a movie.
One, I watched 2 things. One hitting you, the other one hitting me.
I watched Hitting You.
I don't know.
Dude, they should make a sequel called Hitting You, and the first one would be Hitting You, the second one would be You Hitting the Ground.
That would be really.
That'd be a cool box set.
Oh my god.
Okay, I watched Hamilton on Disney Plus.
That's a play. Next.
It's not even.
How was it? I'm really interested in.
Well, I used to listen to the soundtrack before I, seen any of it, and then I saw it when they came here. The traveling show came here, and I saw it, and I love that. But the film is really good in my opinion. I really liked it because they recorded it in 2 nights, so there's 2 separate shows of it, and also the cast did a whole recording of it with no audience, so the cameraman's like right up on stage, lots of close-ups. You see lots of cool details that you wouldn't have seen on the stage show, and I really liked it.
I heard Jonathan Groff spits a lot. It's becoming a meme.
Yeah, and he have you heard his response?
No.
He says it's because I spit a lot.
You gotta love the man.
That was his response. He's like, when I perform, I spit and I sweat. I'm a really wet performer.
Hell yeah. Get a wetsuit for that, man.
Soaking.
What they don't talk about is the fact that, because it's the original cast performing that in 2016. But what's his name? What is it?
Jonathan Groff.
Yeah, he wasn't on the cast at that point. He left. He was like, bye, got to record more Glee, out of here. So the guy who was performing,
Gotta do Mindhunter.
the guy who was doing the King at that time actually stepped down and let him perform a couple more times so they could record it. So
That's cool.
Fun fact.
Yeah, I've been wanting to check it out, but it's almost 3 hours long.
Dude, it flies.
Like, what is this? A Pirates of the Caribbean movie?
I thought Hamilton really flies. I mean, I had to take a pee break, and I was an hour and 20 into it. I was like, ooh, this thing really flew.
No poop break?
There was a couple of poop breaks, but I'm positive for that. I just I leave the door
We
open.
just keep it going for that one, baby.
But I really don't get emotional at a lot of stuff, a lot of movies. I will say Fault in Our Stars did get me emotional, but people dying usually gets to me. But the song Satisfied in Hamilton always gets to me, and it's always her performance. So props to her. I don't know her name, but good job.
Is it Indina Menzel? Wait, she's not in that.
No, she's not in that.
She pops in.
Racist.
Racist? She's white, isn't she?
Oh.
She's on stage and sings. I figured she shows up.
Okay, but the other movie I'm slowly showing Katie the Star Wars series,
You're copying me.
and
I just did that with my girlfriend.
the way I'm one.
And I'm going to do it with mine one day.
The way I one.
What order are you going in? I'm sorry to interrupt.
The way I one-upped you is that I'm slowly realizing that I don't like these movies.
You've said that before.
Yeah, well, okay, but so I'm sure I really want to get her to get to A Force Awakens, not The Force.
Duh.
They changed it to It's just a random Force Awakens.
Drop the
I'm just trying to get her Force Awakens because I think she would like that movie. But we watched episode 6. It's pretty silly. I thought that movie drags and is pretty boring. Yep.
You started with 6?
No.
Dylan, you gotta hand me that bottle, bro. You can't be drinking.
Why would I
Dirty
start
Jelly,
her on 6?
How many times have you pulled this bit today? It's crazy.
I'm just like
Every other sentence he
Katie,
hit us with the bit.
Katie, we don't need to watch 4 and 5. Let's just jump to 6.
But seriously, did you start the prequels or are you doing the originals?
I'm showing her release order 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
The prequels mean nothing if you don't watch the originals. But watching the 6th one with all the
Say that to
additions,
George Lucas.
watching the 6th one with all the additions is really annoying because freaking a spoiler alert. Hayden Christensen shows up and is like, "Hey." And Katie
You're
was
gonna
like,
see me soon.
Katie was like, "What's he doing here?" And I had to be like, "Oh, he's Anakin," and I had to explain everything. I'm like, the whole movie, I'm like explaining stuff because it's not. I don't know.
Yeah, Jedi Rocks is pretty rough.
That movie could really benefit from a wheel fight scene, but I'll get to that later. Yeah, episode 6, not good. So what's your opinion? Should I just jump to 7 and show her 7, or should I drag her through the prequels?
Oh, yeah. If she's seen the original, she doesn't have to see the prequels.
That's what I'm thinking, right? There's only like really one part in the Disney sequel that you would need to see the prequels for, and I don't want to get into spoilers.
Yeah, and arguably, I don't think I think you'd still, even if you did show them to him, you'd still be answering her questions on it later.
The only part it really spoils is when Rey sees her stepbro and goes, "Oops," and I don't need.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Sorry, step bro. and then Rey gets stuck in a window.
A window.
The spinoffs though are related. Not spinoffs, like what do you call like Rogue One and Solo?
What do you
Those
call
ones, those
Star Wars stories.
and the Mandalorian or not the Mandalorian. Those have more connections to the prequels than the sequels.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll show her the prequels because I want to show her Rogue One. I like Rogue One. Let's.
If you thought the first ones were boring, get ready.
I'm dragging her through it. She made me watch Pride and Prejudice twice and Frozen 2. So.
Can we say as an official stance of the podcast that we don't like Star Wars?
I like episode 7.
That we don't like the originals.
What?
I think Dylan likes.
I would say that.
They're not.
Dylan
I just
likes
don't
them.
think they're good.
They're boring.
I don't think they're as good.
They could be condensed to one movie.
I think I love the first one. I do not like the second two.
First one's boring. First
You're
one
not
is
lumping
boring.
You idiots.
The first one is great.
No.
I think it's very well timed.
You're clueless.
Classically trained.
The very beginning is so boring. It's just R2D2 and major spoiler walking through the desert.
Well, I think because when it came out, there had been nothing that visually looked like it. It was like, whoa, they're robots and they're on a spaceship.
All I want to see is a blue sky beam, and then I'll be happy. All right, let's get into the alternate universe. Before we get into the movies, let's talk about if we were doing the Oscars. I don't think this would be much of a debate. I think it would be a landslide, just putting that out there. It would be No Country for Old Men versus The King's Speech.
I never saw the King's Speech.
Me neither, but those trailers bored me to tears.
Not that good, in my opinion.
So
I do like No Country for Old Men.
So what would you pick? No Country for Old Men?
Yeah. That's a good movie.
All right. That's a good movie. That's a good one. All right, should we get into the movie awards here? Which movie do you want to talk about first? Usually we go chronologically, but
I don't care.
Let's go chronologically.
okay, let's talk about the 2007 MTV Movie Awards. Now, this has been a running theme, except it's worse with these two movie awards. These are virtually nowhere online. Like, not even small snippets, nothing. Like, all I could find is I could find the music performances, and that's it.
Who performed?
That's it. Well, spoiler, I'm not getting to that yet. But the host of the 2007 was Sarah Silverman.
Oh.
So I'm going off of memory because I remember watching this one. So the opening bit is, her walking through a bunch of movies. Apparently she walked through Babel. Don't remember that part, but I remember when she walked into. Wow. I don't know what she did, but she did something in Babel.
Did she shoot the gun?
She's a sniper.
But I remember when she walked through Dreamgirls because the girl was like, no way, and she was like, whoa, and then she walked through. Then she walked through Pursuit of Happiness, and I remember that because he was in the bathroom. She was trying to use the bathroom.
That's funny.
She also walked through The Departed. Don't know what she did there. 300, The Devil Wears Prada.
Direct.
And the last one was Transformers. The Wikipedia notes that it seems like this MTV Movie Award was a giant commercial for Transformers because I guess it had a lot. Paramount owns Viacom, which owns MTV, so they were really pushing the Transformers with that. They had several sneak peeks and a real-life example of a car used in the movie.
Several sneak peeks.
They had a real-life example of a Transformer.
No, it doesn't say it.
Sneak peeks. It might as well just show the full movie.
This is a real-life example of a car used in a movie. I don't know what that means.
They just had a car that looked like another car.
But
They had a model of a
It's
car.
in quotes. Like, this is a real-life example.
Here's a car that we could have used, but instead we made a model out of it.
Also, okay, is that an award? Hold on, wait, I haven't looked at this list yet. Yep,
Wow.
okay, we'll get to it. Okay, so let's get into the performers.
Yes.
Rihanna featuring Jay-Z singing Umbrella.
Love to see it.
Big hit. Dude, the performers were good on this.
Huge hit.
Because the second one, and this video is anywhere, if you search the 2007 MTV Awards, this one comes up. Amy Winehouse singing Rehab.
Rip.
Ooh.
And it's kind of like it's like a different version. It's not the version here. It's not like totally different, but it did sound a little bit different. All right, so let's get into the awards.
Wait, was only 2 performers?
That's it, baby.
Oh, I was thinking of the.
That's great, though.
I was thinking of the VMAs. I was like, isn't this the one where Britney Spears?
Yes. So, yes, this is the VMAs. It was when Britney Spears singing Gimme, Gimme More, and she's just kind of walking around stage.
She's... Give me more. Give me more.
It seems she seems like something's wrong in her life. So I feel bad like making fun of that video.
In that moment, she looks dosed. Like,
Yes.
she looks like she's not present. which sucks, but also like
Don't.
give me
Yeah,
more.
it's very awkward watching that. I've seen. There's more of the VMAs. Okay. Oh, let's get into it. Okay.
Okay.
Want to do a VMAs podcast?
Yeah. The
Oh, look at his face.
the MTV Generation Award went to Mike Myers, which is
I already got one
weird. No.
for the Love Guru.
serial
By the
killer?
time I gave it to him, no, this is before the Love Guru. Never mind.
It must be for Shrek, right? It must be. Like, why would MTV viewers at that time care about Mike Myers? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy. The Orbit dirtiest mouth moment. So the Orbit gum dirtiest mouth moment.
Oh my
Great
god.
branding deal.
It went to Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith, Clerks 2. Don't know what they did?
Jason Mewes, Clerks 2.
Is that when
Probably
they,
kissed.
is that when they ate the burger out of the toilet or something? Or yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. Because someone came to the movies that they didn't like, not the actual Clerks, and they like rubbed the patty on the toilet.
Jason Lee or Ben Affleck.
Yeah. And
One of
then
them.
so Ben Affleck was like, no, don't want it. And then that's when Jane Silent
I haven't seen it in a long time, but
Major.
I like that one.
But-
What I remember.
They beat out Steve-O from Jackass #2. Don't know what he did, but I'm sure it was grosser than that.
Probably ate poop.
Probably nasty. He probably
Yeah.
poop or a testicle or
I
something.
don't know how he didn't win. Also beat out Alicia Keys and Common for Smoking Aces. I have no idea what they put in their mouths.
God,
Were they just swearing? Is that what they mean?
Oh, is
by,
that
like,
what it is?
we're so stupid.
Dirtiest mouth.
Well, now that really makes sense.
I took that so literal. I was
Smoking
like,
Aces is a good movie.
I wanted to think so. That had the domino effect where I'm like, I think it's a great movie for high school boys because I did not like it on the rewatch.
They just had such filthy mouths.
Okay, the MTV Movie Spoof Award. This should be up our alley, but it turned south pretty quick. I actually remember this category. This was made by a lot of YouTubers at the time, like early YouTubers. And the movie that won, which is sadly at my time, my personal favorite, was United 300, which is a pretty bad parody. It's the United 93 with 300 Spartans on it, but it
Seems
was
in poor taste.
it wasn't really because it had nothing to do with 9/11. It was like Germans taking over the airplane and like they were trying not to do it,
It has nothing to do with 9/11, but
but it did. But guess guess who made that?
Guess who made it?
Yeah, who won
Spielberg.
who won the award for United 300?
Jerry Bruckheimer.
It's your boy. It's Dylan's favorite, Andy Signore from Screen Junkies.
what?
Yeah,
Andy Signore did that?
yeah. Who he got canceled back, in 2017. He was actually one of the early people who got canceled, and he's
It was like him, Harvey Weinstein, and Louis C.K.
He's one of the few people who are fighting. He's fighting back. Like he's saying, I don't deserve to be canceled. And some people have his back. So I don't know. Let's not get into that. All right. Are you ready for this?
It was co-produced by Brian Fuller. Wow.
Who that?
or Brian Singer. Sorry.
It's like, who's Brian Fuller? Are you thinking of Ryan Fuller or
I was thinking of Brian Singer, the one that isn't he the Brian Singer.
Boys on a Boat? Yeah. Let's not get into that.
Wasn't
Okay. So the fair won Best Filmmaker on Campus went to Josh Greenbaum for Border Patrol. I don't know what any of that means. All right.
I like how they just make up categories every year.
Speaking of making up categories, listen to this one. Best Summer Movie you haven't seen yet.
Oh, I'm guessing it's
It's
Transformers.
Transformers one. Hey, this is the best movie you haven't seen yet.
Coolest CGI film yet to see.
But like, there's a lot of movies in here. They really, Rush Hour 3, Hairspray, Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, Spider-Man 3, Evan Almighty, Harry
So
Potter.
this is just one big advertisement.
Oh yeah, Simpsons movie. Yep.
2007 was a huge year for movies.
A lot of crazy blockbusters that year.
Yeah. All right.
The Simpsons movie. Oh, fun fact. Simpsons movie is now on Disney Plus, and they keep Bart's penis in it, just in case everyone wanted to know.
Bam!
They did the same thing with Hamilton. They keep Bart's penis in it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
They did the same thing with Frozen too.
Wait, Frozen?
Not Frozen, just Frozen 2.
Okay. But Frozen as well, or Frozen?
Damn you both.
I will say in Hamilton, they take out the 2 F words. They keep all the shits in. They keep the word cuckold, which I thought was fun. And they keep the part where he touches her boob, and I thought that was fun too.
They touch boob. I gotta watch this.
Do they bleep it or do they?
No, they replace it with another word, but it's like in a wide shot, so you can't really tell.
Fart.
They did a fart. What the fart are you doing here, Hamilton?
They're going like, hey, what are the fart you're doing here?
What do you think happens in Hamilton? What the fart are you doing, Hamilton?
Everyone wants to beat up Hamilton, right? That's not the whole movie.
They also
Isn't the
sing,
town called Hamilton? And
they also sing the whole time.
to Hamilton, brother.
There's no talking in it. It's constant singing. All right.
I thought there were just 2 songs.
Okay, best fight went to Gerald Butler versus the Uber Immortal from 300.
Okay.
You didn't give us a chance.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to guess at that
You
one?
always give us the chance to guess best
I usually
fight.
do that for best action sequence.
Best action
Which I don't think
sorry.
there is. I don't think they do that anymore.
Aw.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Best kiss went to Will Ferrell and Sacha Baron Cohen for Talladega Nights: The Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
Fair.
I mean, yeah. Out of the other nominees, I mean, we got The Holiday, Stomp the Yard, Invincible, and Little Man were all nominated.
All those movies are okay at best.
Best comedic performance. This is 2 in a row. Sacha Baron Cohen won, but for a different movie.
Borat.
He won for Borat, Cultural Learnings of America, for Make Benefit, Glorious Nation of Kazakhstan.
Too long.
Cool.
Too long of a title. Too long of a title.
Interestingly, he beat out Will Ferrell, who's nominated for another movie, Blaze of Glory. Isn't that fun?
Huh.
Those dudes making a lot of movies that year. Okay, best villain, Jack Nicholson, The Departed, beating out Jigsaw himself. Sorry, bro.
Damn.
Wait, it was just Jigsaw, not Tobin Bell?
It was Tobin Bell for Saw 3. Doo-doo-doo.
I wish it was just Jigsaw. Like they nominated Godzilla that one year.
No, but they do put one of the nominees for best summer movies you haven't seen yet was Just Jigsaw. The movie Just Jigsaw.
Just Jigsaw.
Just Jigsaw.
It's a romantic comedy about him.
Yeah, it's me. It's Just Jigsaw. Yeah, if he was on Twitch, that would be his name.
Just Jigsaw.
It's Just Jigsaw here.
Live streaming the tortures.
It's just Jigsaw here.
Didn't they do that in the 7th? No, they didn't. They just opened.
I feel like they might have done it in one of them.
I think
It seems like a trope.
I think you're thinking of Fear.com.
Or Halloween Resurrection.
Okay, breakthrough performance went to Jaden Smith for The Pursuit of Happiness.
Ooh.
Best
Later go on to be a flat earther.
Is he a flat earther?
He is a flat earther, and he's also in a movie.
Is he a flat earther? Or is he like I'm not a flat earther? You know what I mean? Like
He's a silly bitch.
okay.
He's silly.
But
That man's silly.
to be fair, put a ball on the ground. I mean, it explains itself.
no.
Uh-oh.
No.
It explains. I mean, okay. Best performance went to Johnny Depp for Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chess. I just realized there's no male and female in 2007. It was just best performance.
Wow.
How interesting.
Look at that.
They're just doing their own shit every year.
Yeah, but sadly that means he beat out Keira Knightley for Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's fine.
I'm sure there's a lot of argument or a lot of tension on the set of the third one.
Oh yeah, they were like, "You took my TV movie award."
They're probably still filming it. They filmed these back to back, right? Or those back to back?
Yeah.
Did they? I don't know. Okay, best movie went to Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chess, beating out 300, Blades of Glory. Oh boy, Borat. Where's the full title? I want the full. Borat.
Get it.
And Little Miss Sunshine coming out of nowhere.
Wow, Little Miss Sunshine. That'd have been good.
I wish Transformers would have won, even though it wasn't out yet. That would have been so funny.
Best summer movie you haven't seen yet. So
Which I would have much rather have watched.
let's get into Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest. Are either of you two a fan of the franchise and or the ride?
Well, you know me, I'm a fan of the ride, and I like the first movie a lot. First movie's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Solid action adventure. Swashbuckling, I believe, is a good term.
I don't like these movies.
But yes, the ride is. I'm a fan of the ride, and every time there is even the slightest mention of the ride or Easter egg towards the ride in the movie, I was like, "That's from the ride."
I really liked in this because in the first movie they have an homage of like the people in jail trying to get the dog. And they show the same guys in the jail, like reaching at something, like "come here," and they pan over, and it's Keira Knightley. I was like, "That's a fun twist."
And then he says, "I'm gonna go get the dog who has the key," or something like that. At one point,
very generic.
Where's the dog? He's like, "Where's the dog with the key?"
And then the dog with the keys just shows up and is like, "I'm a character now." For a little
He
bit.
gets on the boat and he's like, "I'm the captain now."
One of my other favorite nods to it. I'm not sure if you would get it, Dylan, because it's more of a Disneyland nod. But when they go to Jack Sparrow's girlfriend's house, I don't know what she is. She's like
voodoo lady?
She's like a witch or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's very reminiscent of the Disneyland opening scene where there's like a bayou, there's like a little hut, and there's lots of fireflies like on sticks, like going like that. And I thought that was a cool little homage to the Disneyland portion.
Ooh.
And at the beginning of the movie, you have to wait in a line for 2 hours.
That's what it felt like.
Hey, dude, we should roast this movie.
Yeah, let's roast this movie. He fucking says.
I feel like
This movie is long. This movie is confusing as fuck.
okay.
This is the most confusing movie I've ever seen in my life.
The opposite of Star Wars. I watched this with Katie, and she was explaining this movie to me because she likes the franchise.
Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I was confused thoroughly.
There's a lot of stuff that comes from the first movie where if you haven't seen the first movie in a little bit, you're gonna be out of the loop.
Really? Because I feel like the first movie.
Oh, your audio cut
ship?
out. Sorry, what?
I feel like the first movie is just like simple.
Yeah, but like you know how Elizabeth Swann, Keira Knightley.
Yeah.
Her love interest in the first movie comes back in this. Not love interest, but the guy who loved her. I knew that. I had no idea who he was. I was so confused. I'm like, who the heck?
Hammerman.
I was like, who the heck is this? And then, honestly, when the guy at the very end of the movie, the guy from the first movie showed up,
Barbosa.
I completely forgot who he was. I was just like, what's?
It was their Nick Fury moment.
Yeah. But I was getting confused. I was
putting the crew together.
I was getting the sequels confused. I was like, that's Jack Sparrow's dad. And she was like, no, that's not Jack Sparrow's dad. And I was like, oh, cool.
And then I looked it up. The third one's like 20 minutes longer than this one.
Yeah, the third one's tough.
Movies that are based on a children's ride that's 5 minutes long is so complicated.
This ride's scary, man. There's a drop. What are you talking about?
But yeah, no. This thoroughly confused the whole movie. There's like we said it, I think we were talking about when we watched it, that the fight that you love, the wheelbarrow fight, which is fun. It's exhilarating. It's a welcome addition to the slog that led up to it. But
that action sequence is awesome. And I think that is like high class action sequence.
But that's a visual representation of like what's actually happening in the movie. There's like this group of people is running on the beach, and this group of people is running away with this, and they're fighting to get this thing, and they're all separate, but they're all together.
I'm gonna be honest.
They all have their objectives.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I rather enjoyed this movie right until the wheel scene ended. And then after that, I was like, okay, ready for these credits, baby. Here we go. And
we said the same thing. We thought we both had like a Mandela effect where he gets eaten by the Kraken, where he's fighting the Kraken sword for, in my mind, in both of our minds, I was like, that's where credits go.
Yeah, that's why
we didn't know that there was 10 more minutes.
I thought it cut to black. But like, even before he got to the Kraken, like, I thought stuff went much faster after getting to the wheel scene is very long. But I thought getting there wasn't that bad this time. I don't know. I was having fun, but as soon as that wheel scene ended, we still had like 30 minutes left or something, and that felt like an hour. It felt so long.
It's just a very it's visually on a technical scale, it's all great. All the performances are great. Like these movies are expensive.
Oh, that's exactly what I was thinking watching this movie. I was just thinking about the budget the whole time.
Yeah, and the third movie is the the most expensive movie of all time, I believe, still to this day. But it's for all that's going in it. But it's not like the script is bad. It's just it's so complicated. And I remember watching it. We just watched it the other day, and I was like, I think these are supposed to be for like kids. Like, I feel like a kid would be like bored.
Yeah,
I have no idea what's happening.
It seems like they'd be bored because I was pretty bored. Like, I had to ask Katie several times. I was like, "So what is Davy Jones?" And like, isn't that an old thing? Like, he's not an octopus in the old story, right? And like, so,
no,
but he's not. He's an octopus.
I think it's just a spin. Like you turn into barnacles because you live forever underwater.
Yeah.
And
don't mind me.
Oh, Dustin's leaving.
Like I don't know. At the same time that I didn't understand this movie, I liked looking at it, and I was like, "This is fun."
Yeah, I think visually and technically, sometimes this film is very impressive.
Yeah,
sometimes. Yeah,
I would say like some of the night there are certain scenes that I'm like, oh, this looks like it was filmed like to look like the ride. I don't know if you got that, but there's a scene where he shoots. It's very in the beginning, but he shoots a crow out of the chest. And he pops out of the chest,
it felt,
or whatever. And it looks like the ride because it's like watery, foggy. There's kind of like not a matte painting in the background, but you can kind of tell where it ends.
It like looks like it's fake, kind of.
Yeah. But I think the parts on Davy Jones didn't. I'm not gonna say they didn't look good because, of course, especially for the time, and even still to this day, like the amount of CG and technical achievement there is great, but just kind of ugly to look at. The scenes where they're on the pull up the picture, by the way. The scenes where like they're on the beaches look great.
I think Davy Jones himself looked great. I thought I think they really impressive. Put all the work on him, and then that hammerhead guy would show up every now and then. I'd be like, ugh, like I don't know, like it felt like they put all their money into Davy Jones himself, and then like just like okay, who cares about that?
Yeah, a lot of his his crew were pretty cool looking. The
Flying Dutchman doesn't fly though.
I cannot tell you how unimpressed I was with the acting in this film. It was really fucking hard to watch.
Look how scared he is, Dustin. He's running away from all this.
Look at him.
You act better than that.
He's great. I will say he was a pleasure to watch during this film.
Well, he owns that role.
He owns that role. I didn't like Bill Nighy, or however you pronounce his name, as Davy Jones. I did not think he did a great job with it. I just felt like I was like, I don't feel afraid of Davy Jones. He just looks gross.
He's the bad guy.
I feel like there's 4 bad guys in this movie.
I think the Skarsgård, whatever his name is, I think he did great as Bootstrap Bill Turner. I think the guy who plays Gibbs, I think he's always fun. I think like those 3 core crew members of his, but I could not stand Orlando Bloom or Keira Knightley in this movie. I was like, this movie, Keira Knightley, I don't even know what the fuck she's doing here. Like, I honestly do not know what she is doing in this movie except for to eventually kill Johnny.
All I know is that
Captain Jack Sparrow.
All I know is that she wants to get Orlando Bloom back.
Yeah, she just wants to get married. She wants to find her boy.
But she literally didn't have to do that because without her interaction, he still gets back. Without her being there, nothing would have changed.
She's one of the main 3 people. You can't just not have her in the movie. They had to write her.
This is mid-2000s. It's Keira Knightley's season.
I'm not saying that like you can't have her in the movie. I'm saying fucking do a better job of making her important to the movie.
I got Keira Knightley fever, exactly. And I gotta have my Keira Knightley.
Listen, I know that you're an addict and you have to have your Keira Knightley.
I didn't realize how much Keira Knightley movies I've been watching lately. Pride and Prejudice, Domino, now this.
I know.
There are, going to a...
And then we're going to watch
there was several moments throughout this movie where I was like, wait, hold on, why are they there? But what's their thing? And then there's also lots of things like maybe like an hour later, I was like, oh yeah, they went to that witch's house. But why did they go to that house? And I was like really trying to figure out and remember why they went there.
Because Johnny Depp needed to know where to find the key, and he thought she would know, and she did.
His fumbling bullshit about the key was funny the first time. At the end, by the end of it, I was like, you're genuinely confusing me. I know that you want the key, but can you just have a fucking conversation with someone in the room and tell them why you want this key? I would love to fucking hear it.
Jack Sparrow would never do that.
Then I don't want to hear what Jack Sparrow has to say.
Which makes me watching this, I'm like, he might be like a villainous character.
I want someone to dome him. I want them to come up behind him and fucking cap him so I can watch someone more competent do this movie.
You just said you loved his performance. You just don't like the character?
I love his performance. I don't love the character. The character of Jack Sparrow is so fucking annoying. He owns Jack Sparrow.
Fun fact, obviously Jack Sparrow's not in the original Pirates of the Caribbean ride. And after these movies came out, Disney themselves had no plans of putting Jack Sparrow in the ride. They were like, he's not a part of it, let's not put him in. But parents would complain so much after getting off the ride because their kids are crying because Jack Sparrow was not a part of this thing. They got so many complaints. They had so many letters written to them, so many phone calls that they weren't forced, but like they had to put Jack Sparrow in the ride so kids would stop crying getting off the ride.
I just don't see how a kid can enjoy it. I guess it's like, you know, your little kid brain is so disconnected that it's just like blank space. You're not recording what you're seeing to your brain, except when you see Jack Sparrow. So it's just like dead. Oh, Jack Sparrow, I love this. And then it's just like
you go in.
Oh, he's moving around. He's saying something funny.
It's like their brain goes in standby mode.
Exactly. Autopilot, like in Click.
Oh, the monkey.
There's so many moving parts. It's so dialogue heavy. It's so like exposition heavy. It's so like stakes heavy. It's like everything. It's like, well, I have to win this game to get to free my father, but my father can't win, so I have to go to Jack Sparrow now, and Jack Sparrow has the key, but he has debt to pay, and it's just like so much happening.
I also thought it was crazy that you see an eyeball get ripped out of someone's head at the beginning of this movie.
Oh yeah,
I was like, is this
a fucking kids movie?
Like,
really, this is for kids, I think.
And it wasn't like it cut away. Like it showed an eyeball get ripped out. And I was like, what's happening?
It's a PG-13 film. Yeah, it's not.
But I don't know. I like the set pieces a lot. I wish this movie was nothing but set pieces. I wish they were just like, whoa, and then they go into another set piece. Whoa. I love the tribe when they're in the hanging balls. That's fun. I found myself.
The Kraken's cool. I like those sequences.
Though there's a lot of stuff with this movie where I'm like, okay, well, if this happens, then why didn't this happen? Because the Flying Dutchman people, what are they called? Do they have like a name of that crew?
They're just the Davy Jones people. I'm not sure.
Davy Jones crew. Okay. They can teleport sometimes, right? They
oh yeah, they could teleport.
Yeah, magic. Yeah.
They teleport at the beginning of the movie, but apparently when they see Jack Sparrow's boat, they're like, let's not teleport. Let's not.
I don't think it's them. I think it's Davy Jones that's doing it because Davy Jones sent Bootstrap Bill Turner to the Black Pearl. And then he brought him back. And then when they went over, it was also him that jumped over. So I think they can only do it with him. Like, he's the only one that can do it.
So why don't they teleport? Like, he was on that
all the time.
Why don't they just, like, have a radio be like, Davey, teleport me to the ship?
But I'm saying he was there in that final fight scene where they're shooting at the Black Pearl. Why not just teleport to the boat? Like, Davy Jones was there. There's no...
I think they wanted to fuck him up with the Kraken, and then it's like, well, I'm not going to put my boys over there.
There's also 3 Kraken fights, and the Kraken goes a little less hard on you the more A-list celebrities are on that boat.
Exactly, I was thinking the same thing.
The first one just gets sunk down immediately. The second one is
there's no tentacles going up or anything.
The second one's a little bit more of a fight because Orlando Bloom's on there, but he survives because he's on the top of the boat. And he kind of like jumps off to the side. So during the third fight, I thought, why wouldn't he be like, "Hey, everyone, to the top of the boat"? And
it worked so good the last time.
We'll just jump out all over this dang thing. But since
all the B and C characters are getting snatched up left and right. But if you're on that movie poster, you're living,
that
baby.
That was funny. You know the part where they're in the balls, climbing up the wall, and then they go, "Okay, when we get back, we can pilot the Black Pearl," and the other guy in the ball says, "Well, you only need 6 people," and then they start racing, and Katie goes, "I wonder who's gonna win, the ball with all the main cast members or the ball with people we don't know." It was really funny.
What if Orlando Bloom was just in the other ball and he just dies?
What if everyone did and we just followed this new cast of characters?
Yeah, what if they all just got eaten? They just ate them.
You know what else is weird about this movie? I feel like the theme, the dun dun da 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 da, that played like 2 times.
Well, yeah.
I feel like my memory of the first movie is that it plays constantly. That's why it's so good.
I don't think movies' main themes play all that often during their movies.
Yeah, right. Have you seen Terminator?
It literally happens once in the Star Wars movies, other than the main titles. It only shows up in the movies once, and it's when.
I guess I also just don't understand. I guess I just don't also understand why everyone's trying to. So like everyone hates Jack Sparrow. Then at the end, when he gets eaten by the Kraken, they're like, "We got to get him back. I miss him."
They're his captain. The people like him. Keira Knightley
didn't like him, but she was like crying. She's like, "I want to get him back."
Well, she just murdered.
She wanted to bone him, but she wanted to live.
I think she was faking a little bit at the end. I think she was like, "Oh, we gotta get him back," but I don't know.
But everyone didn't seem to like him. He was constantly ditching his crew to die and get eaten by the Kraken. He was always looking out for his self-interest. He was like, he never had like a redeeming, even the smallest like redeeming moment.
Well, that's the third movie, I'm sure.
No, he did have one redeeming moment, and that was when he didn't leave them.
He left. He
came back. He came back.
I don't know.
I like this movie. Did you stay to the post-credit scene? How did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was a waste of time.
It's the dog with the keys from the ride. I thought you would have loved it, except he had a bone.
He didn't have the key. He had a bone in his mouth.
He had a bone this time, and it's kind of depressing because those people are going to eat that dog.
Well, they seem to be easily duped, so maybe not.
I don't think the dog's
just
going to dupe him out of there. But I was saying the same exact plot happens in Star Wars, where the Ewoks think, major spoilers, where they think C-3PO is a god.
But they don't kill him.
They don't kill him. They're going to kill Han Solo. I'm not saying what happens, but they were going to eat Han Solo. You got to watch the movie to find out if they eat him. Spoiler alert, he shows up in 3 more movies.
So yeah, closing statements. I didn't like this movie, and I was very upset.
I like this movie. I was bummed that the last 30 minutes was boring as heck. This was also a big setup for the third movie, and I remember the third movie being a letdown. This ends on a cliffhanger, kind of. It ends like Empire Strikes Back.
It ends like fucking like the movie, like the Avengers is about to come on. Like Barbados comes down the steps and he's like, I'm putting a crew together, and then they're like, Ultron's coming, we gotta stop him. Like it reminds me of like the next movie's gonna start with them getting the Soul Stone, which is
the next movie is longer and grayer.
You guys,
I've seen all these movies.
It didn't have Nick Fury vibes to me. It had more vibe. I mean, him walking in, but it had more vibes of Empire Strikes Back. We're like, oh, our favorite character, the bad guy who we learned to love.
Oh, that's true.
He's off. He's off, and the main cast has to go rescue him, and then that's what the third.
I wonder if that was intentional.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it freaking was. They knew they were going to buy Star Wars, and they're like, hey, then we'll have a whole. All right, you want to move on to the next movie?
The next sequel in a series of movies.
Okay, let's jump to the 2010 MTV Movie Awards. These were hosted by Aziz Ansari.
Ooh.
But if you weren't looking that close, you would think this was hosted by Les Grossman, played by Tom Cruise, because he is in all of the ads. He is basically the whole advertisement for this.
Those were good.
I could not find anything from this show other than the advertisements. The one ad I saw was him. He's basically producing the MTV Movie Awards. That's the biz. He's the producer.
Yeah, that's funny.
And he tells Taylor Lautner he has to go, but he can't. And he's like, oh, we'll get a body double for you. And it was some fat white guy. It was very funny.
Isn't there also one where he's talking to One Direction?
That one's not on YouTube. There's another one where he's talking to Robert Pattinson, but I kind of tuned out. The video was 30 seconds long, and I was like, okay, I'm kind of
bored.
Give me a freaking Vine.
The only one that was kind of interesting was they have one where he is producing the movie Risky Business, and Tom Cruise, like young Tom Cruise, comes out and does the slide, but he has pants on, and Les Grossman comes out. It was like, you gotta show what you got, and he like rips his pants off, and he's like, do it again.
Is it Did they CG a younger Tom Cruise, or was it like a Tom Cruise impersonator?
I think they got a look-alike, because all he's doing, he's kind of like looking over his shoulder, and the camera's behind him, so you can kind of only see
really funny.
Side of his
I don't remember that one, but that's funny. I think they were doing that because it's not like it's a long time after. It's only 2 years after that movie came out. But I think around that time they were planning on doing a spin-off with that character. So I think this was a test run.
And I think Tom Cruise just loves that character.
Yeah, he does. He practically wrote it.
That's the vibe I get from that.
God damn it! I'd do anything. I'd fucking raise money door to door to get that movie made.
But I can't think of Aziz did another opening where he walked through movies to movies, though it's not online. The only one I can remember is he goes into Star Trek at some point. I remember that happened.
And he's like, cool. Whoa, this isn't Star Wars.
On the Wikipedia, it says the show has gained some controversy for constantly using the term fuck and its derivatives by its presenters Peter Fascinetti, who accepted the Best Movie Award. Spoiler. But a number of times they were not muted because it was a live broadcast, so people were mad that he said the word fuck a bunch.
Oh, spicy.
Oh, man. Yo, fuck. Yeah, dude. I love this award. Thanks, guys. This is fucking rad.
What was going on in 2010 that they were just off the rails with swearing?
I think they were mad because it was rated TV-14 when it shouldn't have been. As if parents are like, hey, kids, this is rated TV-14. It's okay.
Grab the popcorn. Get your grandpa.
like any parents ever seen the rating at the top left of the screen and been like, get the fucking kids out the house.
Okay, so I don't know anything about the bits. I didn't get to see them. The performers were Christina Aguilera performing a medley of your 3 favorite songs.
The national anthem.
Big Mama's House theme.
American. Okay, she sang a medley of Bionic, Not Myself Tonight, and Woohoo.
These are songs?
Those are 3 songs, 3 separate songs.
Are you bidding? You swear to God.
You don't remember Woohoo?
Huh. I guess I missed those songs.
It features Nicki Minaj, so maybe you should listen to Woohoo.
I keep forgetting Nicki Minaj is so old.
Okay, but...
that old hag.
You know who else performed? Katy Perry and Snoop Dogg singing California Girls.
Woohoo! Ooh.
And get ready for this one. The last performer was Ed Helms, Ken Jeong, Tom Cruise as Les Grossman, and Jennifer Lopez doing a dance medley of Jennifer Lopez's Get Right and Ludacris's Get Back.
Oh, yeah, because Get Back, it's Tropic Thunder, yeah.
I don't remember Ed Helms and Ken Jeong being in that, but...
They must have been promoting The Hangover.
Oh, yeah.
Part 2.
They just had signs while they're doing it. Hangover, very good. All
right, well, let's get into the awards. There's some fun facts at the bottom that I didn't read. Oh,
those fun facts.
Some sneak peeks. Harry Potter Deathly Howls. I'm assuming part 1, though it's not in there. The Twilight Saga Eclipse, The Last Airbender, Scott Pilgrim vs. the Ward, and Jersey Shore Season 2. We're all sneak peeks.
They snuck that in there.
Okay. The MTV Generation Award went to Sandra Bullock.
Cool. Okay.
And it's noted here, when Sandra Bullock won the MTV Movie Award, she discussed her divorce and the fact that no one needed to worry about it. And after that, she made out with Scarlett Johansson. So it was a win-win for everyone.
Did you find this online?
Okay. Global Superstar, which is an award, we never heard of. Global Superstar went to Robert Pattinson.
Makes sense.
I love it.
Okay, best WTF moment. I'll let you guys guess the movie here. Naked Trunk Surprise.
Ooh, dang, was that the Transformers The Revenge of the Fallen? That's The Hangover.
That's The Hangover.
Yeah.
But, they beat out Racetrack Premonition.
From The Final Destination?
Yeah.
The worst one?
What the F?
Unexpected Transformation.
Transformers. Revenge of the Fallen.
Vomits a mysterious black ooze.
Also Transformers:
No,
Revenge of the
that's
Fallen.
not.
No.
Jennifer's body.
That's Jennifer's body. You guys are really good at this. And the last one is Bill Murray, a zombie.
Zombieland.
Okay. Biggest badass star went to Rain. Not
Who?
Not the water.
Oh, from Ninja Assassin.
How do you know this? From Rain from Ninja Assassin.
I thought you were saying like the rain.
From the day after tomorrow.
Okay. Best kiss went to Kirsten Stewart and Robert Pattinson for the.
I feel like they're just gonna sweep that category for
Twilight
several
Saga.
years.
You know who they beat out was Kirsten Stewart and Dakota Fanning for the Runaways.
Oh.
And they also
That movie's not as horny as this movie.
but they also beat out Taylor Lautner and Taylor Swift for Valentine's Day.
Again, this is the second time they beat Dave beat her and Taylor Lautner.
You can tell how they
No, it
treat
was with Taylor
Lautner.
Swift this time for Valentine's Day.
Oh.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
for Valentine's Day.
Remember Valentine's Day when he kissed Taylor Swift?
Yeah, because they were in like one scene.
Okay, best fight went to Beyonce versus Ali Larter for Obsessed.
That is a pretty fun scene.
I mean, do you think it's better than Hugh Jackman and Liev Schreiber versus Ryan Reynolds for X-Men Origins Wolverine?
No.
Okay, best comedic performance went to Zach Galifianakis, The Hangover. Best scared as shit performance went to Amanda Seyfried for Jennifer's Body.
She was scared as shit.
She's pretty
Who are the
scared.
other nominations?
I was
for
about
that?
to say,
I don't know about
Dylan's going to be mad on a couple of fronts. I don't think he's too mad about Alison Lohman for Drag Me to Hell. I'm not sure if you're a fan of that movie, but
Not really.
you're going to be mad about this one. Katie Featherston for Paranormal Activity.
What? She was
Whoa!
scared that whole movie.
And I think you're going to be madder about this one. She beat out, oh boy, I don't know how to say his name, Sharlto Copley for District 9.
Dang.
He's scared as shit the whole time.
Yeah. 2 found footage movies, or at least one's partially found footage.
Okay.
Left in the dust.
Best breakout star went to Anna Kendrick for Up in the Air, though I don't believe she won for Up in the Air. I think the Twilight fans just saw Anna Kendrick and were like, hey.
Hey.
Best villain went to Tom Felton again for Harry Potter and Half-Blood Prince. He keeps winning as Draco.
Damn.
Best male performance, I guess they're back to splitting them up, went to Robert Pattinson for the Twilight Saga New Moon. And best female performance went to Kirsten Stewart for the Twilight Saga New Moon.
I guess they had to split them up because like we gotta give both of these people an award.
Yeah. And then the best movie went to the Twilight Saga New Moon, beating out Avatar,
Okay.
Alice in Wonderland,
Okay.
Yeah.
The Hangover, and Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
Dude, Harry Potter. Do you beat The Hangover?
Beat the
I
Hangover.
think the Hangover is very overrated, so I don't care.
But that's just me.
I think it's good. I think the second one's awful. And I thought the third one was even worse.
You seen the 4th one?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That's how you improv, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna make you the 4th Hangover tonight, dude.
Let's do a little improv scene. Hey, Jerry, what's up?
My name's Brian.
No, he didn't go along with our.
You're in the way.
Didn't go along.
Out of the road.
He called me Jerry. My name's Brian.
What an idiot.
Why are you driving that boat?
I thought we were just gonna do like one-word answers. Okay, let's get into
No.
the Twilight Saga New Moon.
This movie's all right.
Dude, Dylan, you freaking let me down. Before we watched these Twilight movies, he was like,
I know,
he was like, New Moon, my favorite of the series.
I know,
Best movie in the series.
I used to think that, and then rewatching, I was like, I think I'm wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Boring.
It's arguably the worst one yet.
No. Oh, yeah, maybe, sure.
Yet.
Out of these 3 movies, this movie sucks. This movie's stupid.
Oh,
and
wait
it
till you get to the
sucks.
4th one.
This movie's fucking long.
No, it's not that long.
It is long.
This movie is
It
stupid
feels long
and
as
it
Pirates.
sucks, and I'm ready to vote because this.
It didn't feel. I'll give you that. You know what? The difference between this. You know what? It sucks because I'm heavily invested in Twilight because of the memeology of it. I love the memeability of it. I love how dumb and stupid and fun it makes me feel.
And easily accessible it is.
It's so it's like
like
trash.
You know, you just eat like so much rice.
It is rice. I'm like the guy who got high for the first time. He's like, it is rice.
Twilight is rice because
Twilight's rice.
it might not be amazing, but it's still good to eat sometimes.
It's just, man, this movie is just like, I don't care about Taylor Lautner, and he's in so much of it.
Yeah. So let me back up a little bit. I used to think this is the best one because I have the most fond memories of this one. I saw this one.
Macking chicks in the theater when you saw this or something.
I know. I did go see this on a date. It was between this and Sherlock Holmes.
Did you propose?
Yes, it didn't turn out well.
She was like,
date.
I proposed mid-movie.
So I remember watching it in the theater with this girl, and I remember thinking, like, this is kind of fun. This is dumb and fun. And I, at some point, found myself mildly invested. So I was like, whatever. That's a dumb, fun movie. Moving on. And then, so when I lived with my sister, we had Showtime. This was on Showtime all the time. We literally sometimes would watch it once a day, just like in parts or, 30 minutes here or whatever. We saw so much of it. And it was just so much fun to like laugh at. We'd always make fun of Taylor Lautner and like all the silly things that happen in this movie. So maybe that's why I used to think, because it was so, as Dustin said, memeable, if you will. But yeah, and rewatch kind of separate from that. I'm like, oh yeah, this isn't maybe as good as 1 or 3. There is so much Taylor Lautner, because I was texting my sister about it. I said, look what I'm watching. And then I was like, it's the best one. And she's like, no, it's the worst one because it's all Taylor Lautner. And I was like, yeah, right. Then by the end of it, I was like, yeah, this is way too much.
The movie, honestly, the movies have kind of meshed in my head a little bit. This is the one where it has the montage, right, of her becoming...
Yes, which is a good sequence.
So basically, Edward is like... So he invites her to a party, and one of the vampires is like, I'm going to eat the shit out of you. And that's when Edward is like, oh, maybe this isn't going to work because my friends want to eat the shit out of you. So Edward is out. They like leave.
And he's just conflicted about her growing old and that shit.
And I like the part where Bella is just sitting at the window and all the seasons are going by.
Yeah.
I like
really
that.
Good part.
I like that. That was cool. So she's like, well, fuck it, dude. If Edward ain't here, I'm going to hang out with Jacob. And so she starts hanging out with Jacob and has a little montage. And then Edward comes back. I kind of forget what happens. And then Edward proposes.
Edward doesn't get back. She goes to Italy and stops him from...
Well, what really happened...
Oh, yeah.
What happens is the stupidest thing. He just automatically assumes that she killed her, or she's dead.
No,
she jumps off the cliff to feel alive or some bullshit. I don't know what. And then, so he heard about that or felt it. I don't know what happened. And
Alice told him.
Okay. And then Edward calls her house and Jake answers, is like, nah, bro, she dead. And hangs up.
No, he said she's not here right now or something.
Oh, he said something about a funeral.
Yeah,
he said he's currently planning a funeral.
Yeah, a funeral.
Yeah, he says that Charlie's currently planning a funeral.
Yeah, why did he say that?
Because his friend had just died. Remember the...
oh, yeah.
So he's not lying. He's not lying, but he's just like...
Also, it's like, who the fuck answers someone else's house phone? Taylor, we're hardly friends, Jake. Why are you answering my fucking phone?
So then Edward hears that phone call and is like, well, if she's not alive, I'm just gonna end myself. And the only way to do that,
Juliet, they let you know in the beginning of the movie.
The only way to do that is to go to Italy and have that Tower of Pisa fall on you and everyone.
No. Yeah, they pull the Tower of Pisa on you.
They make it so they're like, the only way for a vampire to kill themselves is to have the Voltaire kill them.
Unless they're like, no, you're too cool, we won't kill you.
Yeah,
which
and
is
then
what
like
happens. Well,
yeah.
And then the next movie, they're like, oh no, you can just murk them.
No. Well, they're not going to kill you. You'll say, I want to die, so they could do it unless they deem otherwise. The only reason they'll kill you, no questions asked, is if you expose yourself, which is his plan.
Yeah, if you break one of the rules.
He broke He went to the middle of Italy and showed his skin, but Bella grabbed him in real quick, and he's I still broke the rules. You got it. Well, I forget who grabbed him. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, she grabs him. She like pushes him back inside.
So then they get out of that alive. I don't know how, but Edward fought and it was cool.
Yeah, the stuff with the Volturi's cool and like that little fight thing.
I hated that part. I was so bored.
What?
I hate the Italy part.
That's when we were both like, oh, this is catching up.
I like the Voltaire. I think once they get into this weird shit, I'm like, hell yeah, weird shit.
No,
dude.
that's what we're talking about. We didn't like. I liked the love story of just her being like, oh, you're a vampire and that's hard to love.
I like that part in this movie.
I don't like it.
Before that, it was just all Taylor Lautner. And
yeah, this is the most interesting part of the movie because everything before it is just Taylor Lautner like bucking on that one kid because he got sick in a movie theater.
That part was fun.
Dude, I hate that scene. I don't hate the scene, but I hate Jacob. I don't know how anyone is Teen Jacob after that scene. This guy is trying to be on a date with Belle, and then Jake just shows up and is like, I'm on the date with you too, which is like the worst thing to do. And then he doesn't even want to see this movie. And
they're both holding their hands like this too.
They're both like, I'm ready. Choose one of us. and so he's like, this movie's too gross for me. I gotta go vomit. And then Jake just like bullies him the whole time. I'm on Team Mike so hard. I want Mike to end up with Anna Kendrick. And I
Team Charlie. Still Team Charlie all the way. But
yeah, you want Team Charlie to end up with Belle? Dude, hey, step bro, what is up?
We've been on a theme this episode. I mean, it's hard. I'm sure we discussed it all like last episode, but yeah, this one. I mean, Belle's not being a very good person. She's kind of like, I'm keeping you around just in case this thing with Edward works out for my benefit. But so we won't get too far into that. I'm sure it's all discussed in the last episode. But I think I don't know. I like the way this movie looks for some reason. The CG's actually all right. You know what?
I think they did, like I said, I think last week, I think this movie and the next movie looks so much better than the first movie. I think that they did such a great job with the decisions that they made, especially like coloring and visualizing.
My vote is for Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. This movie is so boring. The only part I like is when she's looking out the window and I don't even like them much. That's the only part is when she's looking out the window. I like Charlie, if Charlie was a star. I like the part where Jacob was like, nah, he's playing a funeral and hung up the phone. Other than that.
But Rob Pattinson's just cool, man. He's cool, dude.
Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. I'm glad it's moving on to the next round.
No.
I'm sure the two of you are also going to vote that way, so we'll see you next time.
No. Hey. Okay.
I know what you dinguses are going to pick, and
Dylan?
I don't want to...
Dylan?
I have to pick first?
You pick first. I picked first last time. You pick first.
Okay, I won't... I'll pick last.
We know what you're going to pick.
It's a similar situation that I'm in with kind of how we talked about the Lord of the Rings, where it's like, you know, on a production value and basically virtually every other aspect of it is better.
You're just like, but Twilight's a bit goofier to watch.
But it's so easy to watch. I'm not bored watching Twilight.
How? New Moon, you just said is the worst one out of these three.
I didn't say it was the most boring though.
But it is boring.
We were at least we had
so much fun.
We were ripping on it watching it. It was so fun. We didn't do that during Pirates again. Justin took a shower during Pirates of the Caribbean. He left for 30 minutes and then came back. I'm not lying.
That's cheating. But here's the thing.
And he didn't even bother to ask, what did I miss? He just sat down.
I got back, and I was like, they just started talking, and I was like, yeah, I still don't fucking know what they're doing. I don't care.
So when you guys are picking the best movie, your check is, well, can I rip on it the whole time? Check. So
it's if I enjoy it more.
But your enjoyment is making fun of the movie. You're just saying you can't make fun of Pirates of the
Like I said before, it's rice. I can just eat so much of it.
But that doesn't mean it's the best.
Dylan, what is your vote? You're gonna fucking kill me.
Your both votes are Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm glad it's moving on to round two.
Dylan, you're gonna fucking kill me. What are you?
I'm trying to think. I hate it. I hate making these decisions.
One movie is an actual movie. The other one is just a teen drama thing. And I want to hate on Twilight.
Fine. Because it hurts. Fine. I'll say Pirates of the Caribbean.
I'm also voting Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, you guys are going to vote Twilight.
It's a better movie.
It's better, but it's not like... It's better, but it's not gooder.
I don't like it more, but it is
Exactly.
better.
Guys, I'm going to give you a second chance. Which movie do you actually think should move on to the next round? Because I feel like you guys are settling for Pirates of the Caribbean 2. Do you guys actually think it should move on? Because I want to bolt you guys into
From like a writing standpoint, directing standpoint, acting standpoint, production, from every standpoint, it's better.
From a movie standpoint, it is the better of the two movies. From an entertainment standpoint, I want to watch New Moon again.
Okay, so then the big debate on what are we deciding here? I know it's called best of the best movie, but what do we consider the best? Do you consider a movie to be, because you can look at a movie, say like, I'm trying to think of like let's say 2001, which is masterfully made and it's brilliant, a lot of techniques, but I don't think any of us like it because it's boring as hell. So would you say Twilight is better than 2001, or would you say 2001 is better than Twilight?
I would say 2001 is better than Twilight, of course.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want to watch 2001 at all.
Just objectively, it is better.
Yeah.
It's like factual that it's better.
If we're here to decide what is the best movie, I would like to give Pirates of the Caribbean, The Man's Chest, another chance. And I would like to give it my fullest attention, possibly watch the first one again before I watch the second one.
Are you going to watch the third one?
Am I gonna have to?
You don't. I'm just saying. You just want to end your life on this cliffhanger. You don't want to know if Jack Sparrow gets back.
I don't give a shit. I've
care.
never seen the third or the fourth or the fifth.
Okay. Do you give a shit what happens to Bella and Edward?
Yes.
Unfortunately, yes.
So
Yeah.
but you guys are still picking pirates.
This movie is because
Can we
Twilight.
flip a coin?
I don't know why I'm debating your side, but I'm like.
Can we flip a coin?
The question is, it's like, are we here to discuss what our favorite movies are or the best movie? The best movie is Pirates of the Caribbean. My favorite movie is New Moon.
He's saying
This
the
is
best
my new
movie of all.
favorite.
He's saying the best movie of all time is Pirates of the Caribbean, but his favorite movie is
Dustin says that all the time. The best movie ever is Pirates of the Caribbean 2.
Pirates of the Caribbean Desmond's Chest.
Have you ever been on the ride, Dustin?
I've never been to Disneyland or World.
Then answer my question.
It's a good ride. It smells good. They sell candles.
I'm still hoping that we can go in 2 years.
Which ride? Okay, let's say if they made a Twilight ride. Which ride?
I'll ride the shit out of it.
Oh yeah.
That would be an awesome. We were actually talking about that.
Fuck yeah.
We were like,
dude.
what? We're like, who would build
It's like
that?
it's like woods. It's like woods, and like you see like the wolves coming around and moving, and like you're like on a wolf back. Oh my god, you're on a fucking wolf back.
I would say there's two tracks. One where you're on a wolfback, one where you're on holding on to a vampire.
That's also pretty cool.
And then they
Was that this one that he broke his ribs?
No, he didn't break his ribs. He sprained his.
Where she crushed him. That was in the third one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so you guys' final decision is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean. The Man's Chest.
I really wanted you to pick whatever you guys wanted, but hey,
I know, and we want to be honest and be like, we're big goofy. Here's the thing: is if you put,
are we doing?
I'm trying to think of like what's a movie I love and I'd watch. If you want to put it's like, what's a bad movie I love watching? I'm trying to think. If we're talking about TV shows.
Oh yeah,
And you want to compare like Bloodlines to Supernatural. I'm gonna pick Supernatural, but that's because it's for me. I know Bloodlines is a better. I've only seen. I'm started watching the first season.
I'm curious to see Bloodlines because that sounds like a good show.
Bloodline. fuck me. Bloodline. I'm started the first season, and it's like I'm already like, oh, this is fucking amazing. But like I love. What's that meme from? There's that meme of like, this is brilliant, but I like this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a meme. That sums up this situation perfectly.
Yeah, like Pirates of the Caribbean is brilliant,
No, I'm gonna say that.
but I like New Moon.
All right, so Pirates of the Caribbean is moving on to the next. Let me tally the votes.
Can we put a little asterisk next to New Moon though? It's just like, but we love
Should we do a
it.
losers bracket? Should we do a losers bracket at some point?
Can we do a cry?
Oh, if there's a losers bracket, this wins. There's no. I can't see anything else winning against it.
We should.
Unless a Twilight, except for Twilight
Yeah, the first Twilight has also
lost, so that could go.
Okay, so Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, moving on to the next round. I'm just getting that in the books. It's in there. Yeah, okay, so let's talk about which two movies we're watching next week. Now,
let's hear it.
You thought these movies were long, baby.
Oh my God.
You thought these movies were long.
No.
Which Lord of the Rings is it?
You better start watching the movie now, because you might run out of time before next week. That's what I'm saying here. Okay, the 1998 winner, Titanic.
Oh boy.
Shit.
Versus the 2003 winner, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers.
Got you, dumbass.
Hold on a second though. But all three Lord of the Rings win, right?
I don't. Do you want me to spoil? Yeah, they all.
Well,
yes.
I've never seen the second one.
All
So
three of
this
them
is the
win,
second one.
and I have arranged the
No, Return of the King is the third one.
Yeah, he said Twin Towers.
I thought you said Return of the King.
Two towers, no twin towers, just the two towers.
Oh, I thought you said Return of the King.
No, he said
sorry.
Two Towers.
You just
Okay.
heard other words. All three are in, and I've arranged the bracket to where we will watch them in order. So,
Okay.
Titanic versus The Lord of the Rings, the two towers, no twin
Oh
towers.
my God.
Yeah.
What's the week after that? So I have something to look forward to.
I will say, so we only have three left. We have this long fest coming up this week. The two rounds we have, I've been saving the best for last. I think we're gonna love the two rounds after. I mean, I think we're gonna like.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I think we're getting into the good stuff. We got three left, and we're getting into the good stuff. And then we'll be on to round two where we get to watch all these movies again.
I'm so tired already.
We're gonna watch in round two. We're gonna watch it on like double speed.
What? No, you can't watch it double speed. He took a shower.
I'm watching it with commentary at the very least.
That's a good idea.
I'd say I'm just gonna watch the movie again. Okay, so next week, come back for Titanic versus Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. What are you trying to do? You trying to get me?
Yeah, I'm getting you.
You can't get me. You're clueless.
Damn.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.